guys, how you doing? It's Brad. I'm so excited about my guest, Lizzie Miller. This is her second time on our show. Now, she is with the Music City Group with Benchmark Realty in Nashville, Tennessee. Lizzie is a new agent, as you may remember from last time. And we were talking a little about what she's kind of going through to grab new clients and just what she's going through in general. And I said, hey, why don't you come on? Ask me some questions and let me answer them for you and see what we can do to brush up. As you guys all know, I am a coach. So let's see what we can do with Lizzie and if we can answer some questions and give her some good tips. Hey, Lizzie, welcome.
Hey, it's good to see you again, Brad.
Good to see you. So what's been going on? Talk to me.
Oh my goodness. Well, as you know, the market is just on fire, everywhere. So basically, it's just bidding wars everywhere because the interest rates are so low. Everybody's wanting to buy and sell. And it's winning that deal amongst all the other deals that show up on the table. So that's my biggest
let's take you
thing right now.
So let's take you from step one. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say I have a listing and it's $1 million. Let's say it's $850 and you have a client interested in it. What's the first thing you do after the client says, I want to see it? What do you do?
I make sure they're pre-approved first and foremost.
So now they're so now they're pre-approved. You know they want to see it. Then what do you do?
I'm going to ask them, what interests you in this property?
No. So forget about that. What I'm trying to get to is because you're talking about competition and I want to see how you're portraying yourself with other agents. So how do you, what's the next step you do in order to show your client that property?
Well, I automatically reach out to that other agent and I start asking them questions, how many people are interested in this property. What can we do to possibly, make this deal work and, make sure we can do some good negotiating. And
so again, you're kind of skipping around. I want you, we can even role play if you'd like, but I want you to tell me what you do. So for instance, I'm Brad Roth, right? So Brad Roth has a listing and you call me. What do you say to me? Just pretend like, okay, hello, this is Brad.
Well, of course, I'm like, hey, I'm Lizzie Miller here. Hey, and I speak to people on a personal level,
right? So Lizzie, let's role play just for a minute because I really want to I want to help you because here's the biggest problem that agents have, especially new agents.
Especially a new one.
You have to understand that we're busy. We're really, really busy. So we might be getting 50 calls. You've just like when you're auditioning, because Lizzie, if you don't know it, is a fantastic singer and songwriter. And so when you only have a couple minutes for people to see who you are, right? A couple seconds. When you're out on stage, you got to capture them right away, right? Same thing with an agent. You need to capture my attention right away because if I automatically find out from the tone in your voice or anything that you're an unsure agent or someone who's just kind of wasting my time or asking me questions that you really don't need to be asking, it's a turnoff right away. Right. So let's just role play really quick. And there's no wrong or right. I just want to see if I can tweak you a little bit and try to show you maybe there's something you don't need to say. Is that okay?
Deal? That's fine. I need all the help I can get.
Right. Let's go. Ring, ring. Hello, this is Brad.
Hey, Brad, Lizzie Miller here. Heard about your listing. And I've got
Which
a really good.
Are you calling about, Lizzie? What street?
Oasis Street in Hollywood Hills.
That is the house of the hour.
Yeah, definitely. So I've got an interested and ready to go buyer, pre-approved, fully funded, cash sell. And I want to work this deal out. I'm sure that you've already, gotten a lot of interest in this property, but, I want to get a clean deal submitted right away. What can we do to make this work?
Excellent. So love what you just said. You sounded great. You were a little too wordy.
As always.
Right, but that's okay. But I love the fact that so Lizzie, you're smiling right now. Anyone who is listening to this on the podcast, you can hear her smiling. And if you want to watch it, go to youtube.com, type in ATRE Podcast, look for Lizzie Miller interview. You are smiling. And the great thing about that is the smile comes through your voice and it makes you endearing. So I love that. Smile, everybody, when you're talking, because then the agent can know you're friendly and sweet and nice and people want to work with you, right? You know
Yeah.
what? Why not make it exciting and fun? So the other thing is, I like the fact that you said, you contradicted yourself in a minute, because you said cash and you said pre-approved. So just clean that up. Make sure that you're clear and concise. Is it cash or is it pre-approved? I do love the fact that you said, what do I need to do to get this deal into escrow? So instead of all the other words you were using, it's, hey, this is Lizzie Miller with the Music City Group, Benchmark Realty. Just wanted to introduce myself. I have a client who loves your property on Oasis. Great, Lizzie. When would you like to show it? Well, I'd like to get in at Saturday at 11. So what I'd like you to do is, before you make your phone calls, have all your questions answered. So figure that the agent's going to ask you when you wanted to see it. So already have a couple different times and dates with your client. Maybe it's Saturday, maybe it's Sunday. Say to your client, look, I'm going to get you in as fast as I can. What are some dates and times that are ready for you? So then when you talk to Brad or whoever, you can say, hey, I got set and my client wants to see it as soon as possible. Here's the days we have available. What can you do for me? Or would you rather me send you an email? The best thing to do, Lizzie, is if you can say, I just wanted to reach out, introduce myself, and just tell you that I would really like to work with you. My client loves the house.
Yeah.
That's important. So, okay, so that was great. Now so give me some questions you might have and let's go over them.
Oh boy, this is fun.
I love role playing. If you're coaching with me, you get a lot of role playing and it's really important. And I role play everything. So, okay,
That's good though.
Yeah, it's important. Role playing is great. Talk to me. What else?
Okay. Well, are there any major things wrong with this house? I mean, I know it's
So good question and bad question.
okay.
And I'll tell you why. So if he's really busy and he's getting a ton of calls, he doesn't have real time to answer all this. If there's anything major, we usually put it into confidential remarks. Okay. Best thing to do is ask as few questions as possible at first, with selling yourself and your client up front. Sell yourself, sell your client, smile, get in there. If they're interested in the house, then ask the really hey, anything I should know about that I don't know about because I'm writing an offer. But just try and try and be as easy as possible. Because I know you're thinking, I want to tell my client as much as I can, but in a time, now you could ask whatever you want in a slow market, and we'll talk to you all day long. But in a market where things are going from 50, 100, 150 over list price, there's 10 offers on the property. The only thing you want the listing agent to know about you is that you work hard, you get deals closed, and you're easy to work with. Right?
Okay. Yeah. And I guess I was just thinking some of those negative questions, like, is there anything majorly wrong with the house? In other words, just because it looks good on the outside, I mean, is there anything major wrong with it?
We don't know though.
Maybe,
So we don't know. If we just got a listing, we don't know. We haven't had a home inspection. And if someone tells us, hey, there's foundation issues, I would put into confidential remarks, hey guys, there's foundation issues, so be prepared when you come.
Right.
Accordingly. So again, if someone's really busy, an agent's really busy, they could be turned off by the question because they're just busy and they want to get you in and get you out. And most of the time, not everyone's going to love a property. So you're asking questions that maybe you could ask down the road. So it's not a bad question that you're asking.
Yeah.
Again, you want to just brush up on putting everything in order. Look, I'm working with a new agent right now. We had a deal it's closing today. It was $899. I sold it for $1.010 million.
Oh, nice.
She was a pleasure to work with. There was 15 offers. She was really sweet, really nice, asked the right questions, told me she was going to be easy to work with, and I could hear in her voice that she was.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she said she was going to do, she has done, and we're closing escrow today.
That's
and
awesome.
She's a newer agent. I continually tell her how great she is because she is. She's done a fantastic job and she got her clients that house over all the other offers. Why? She came, she introduced herself to me at the appointment, said, I just want you to know, I want you to remember my name. My clients love the property. When she called me back and she was writing the offer, she didn't just start talking, but she said, "Hey, do you have a minute? I don't want to take up much of your time, but I am writing and I do want to get it. So can I
Yeah.
just ask you a couple questions?" I'm like, "Sure." And a great question there would be anything I need to know about the property that I don't know about yet, right?
Right.
Those are important things.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess sometimes I feel like if I ask that question and they happen to say, yeah, I know about such and such, then
yeah,
maybe they would be more willing to work with you, knowing that the house is not as great as it looks because they might not get, what they're asking for
they're
it.
going
I
to
don't
get it
know.
in this market. They're going to get it. You need to
Yeah.
need to go into this market realizing that there's much
Mm,
less inventory than there normally is. Correct. And
correct.
there's way less inventory, and there's so many buyers because interest rates are so low. You have a lot of competition. So what you need to remember in times like this are, how can I come across as the easiest person to work with? Because remember, Lizzie, if you do a great job on this, represent your client to the best of your ability, get them the house they want, do a great job, get along well with the other agent, you're gonna call him next time and go, "Hey, Brad, it's Lizzie again. I got another buyer." I'll be like, "Lizzie, you're the best. I've worked with you. I love you. Let's go." Because I know
Yeah.
you're the best,
Let's go.
right?
Yeah.
And that
Hmm.
is how you build relationships with not only agents and buyers, and you're going to get referrals, but you want to have a great relationship in the business. It's important. This is your bread and butter. And I know you have a son and you're a single mom and you work hard, and this is important stuff. So know your craft, practice, go to your boyfriend, go to your son and or go to your friends and role play. Say, pretend this, pretend that, and do whatever you need to do to succeed. And you can even give them a list of objections to throw at you and object with you. You know,
Right.
one of the things I do with people I coach is I give them a list of objections and we go over objections, and I go over and over again with them. And sometimes they go, "Oh my God, we've done this like 30 times." And I go, "Exactly, we have." And guess what? Then
Never gets old.
no, then they go on an appointment and someone throws out that objection and they go, boom. And they go, "Whoa, I knew that right away."
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, is know your craft. The difference between people who succeed in real estate and the people who don't is they know their craft. They practice. And practice does not make perfect. Practicing perfect makes perfect, right?
I like that. You're spot on. I
Yeah.
will say I had my first listing and it got under contract in 24 hours.
Congratulations. Wonderful
You.
job. And
Yeah,
now
thank
the best thing to do is make sure you communicate with the buyer's agent, communicate with your sellers every day. I call my sellers every day and say, "How you doing? Great. Good. Here's what's going on. Just wanted to say hi."
Yeah, we
If
do
you're in
that.
front of them all the time, when you have to give them bad news, or maybe you've got to give them news that something happened, but the escrow is still going to close, but it's going to prolong, they're going to be prepared because you're already telling them, you're warning them. The best way to control your clients is to be there for your clients, to talk to your clients.
And give them the warning signs ahead of time so they're
Yeah,
not thrown
that's
completely
right.
off kilter when something negative pops up.
Yeah,
No, I completely agree with you.
and if an agent calls you and they're freaking out because things aren't going wrong, don't freak out too. Just
Right.
and
Don't go
figure
nuts.
out
Wrong thing.
you figure out the way to make it happen. Okay, what else?
Right.
Talk to me. I like it.
I mean, yeah, so I'm always staying on that positive vibe because you have to. So yeah, I'm definitely, that's another question I was going to ask you
Give me
is
a question.
how do you, like, I know how to keep myself positive, energized, but how do you keep your clients encouraged and motivated with this market, with how everything is, because they're constantly,
So you're talking about buyers? Because it's different.
buyers.
Okay, so buyers, I let them know from the very beginning. I pull up the areas that they're looking at and I say, "Okay, here's all the houses that have sold in the last 3 months. Here's how quickly they sold. They went on contract this day. They went under contract this day. They were listed this day. It was 3 days. And look, when it closed, how much more it sold for." And I prepare them that if a house is $899, it's going to go for over $1 million in LA, maybe $1.5 million, and they, $1.05 million, and they have to be aware. Okay, I know that my first offer isn't going to be 850. It might be 975 or $1 million. And then I still may get countered at best and final. So it's all prepping your clients, and they're going to remember. And then when you're talking to them, when you go to write the offer, you say to them, "Now remember I told you, we went over this and I showed you, where do you think you should be writing?" And let them tell you. And then if they go 850, you go, "Hey, I understand that you could have done that 5 years ago. But again, remember what we talked about?" And they go, "Oh yeah, that's right, Lizzie. I remember." So it's all about education and communication. If you're educating and communicating with your clients, you're going to do fine,
Right.
and look, I just sold my own personal residence. I've been here 15 and a half years with my wife and kids. And I'll tell you, um, it's been an amazing experience. I'm having a buddy who's helping represent me, but I'm pretty much doing everything. And it's been crazy because it makes you sick to your stomach. And it's been reminding me of everything that my clients go through.
Yeah, it's
And
very true.
it's been great in that sense where I go, "Oh God, that's right. So maybe I need to be a little bit more caring when I'm going over this with my clients or that." But what I usually try to do, Lizzie, is if I know a deal is going to fall out of escrow, before I call my clients, I usually have called 5 or 6 other agents, seeing if I can get back into escrow with one of them. So when I call my clients, I go, "Here's the bad news, but I got some good news for you. I've already got it in
Perfect.
the contract. I've got 5 other buyers. Here's the offers. Which one do you want? Let's get them." Boom. And my clients are usually like, "Thank you. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you mean we're good?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." And they're like, "Great."
I hear you.
What else?
Well, so what is your opinion, especially when you're new again, about taking a lower commission percentage instead of your normal 3%, like to get a certain listing or to get going with listings, or even with buyers, just to get more clientele that way?
Get it. So first of all, I'm not a discount broker. I'm sure you're not either. We're full service brokers, and you offer
Right.
full service, right?
hmm
But sometimes I get it. You have to take a little bit off. I don't believe, here's a couple of things I don't believe. I don't believe if you are taking a lower commission, let's say you took it for 4.5% rather than 5 or 6. Well, I don't believe that you should be taking 2 and giving 2. If you're going to be weak and take 4%, then you need to suck it up, take 1.5% and offer 2.5% to the other agent, right?
hmm
Or if in your area they get 3%, you need to give them whatever they normally get, because otherwise your client is suffering. The showings aren't going to be there, and
Yeah.
you're primed. So really, I would tell someone first to do everything they can. I would tell their sellers, "Hey, you want me to be motivated? You want me to work hard? I'm paying for the photography. I'm doing this. I'm doing that," and go through everything you're going through
hmm
and build value in yourself. And oftentimes you won't even have to take that commission cut. But what you should do is be strong. And when I'm, interviewing, I don't care if I don't know them or not. I'll sit there and I'll say, "Look, I am a 6% broker. I give 3%. Sometimes I say I give 3.5 to myself and 2.5 to the other agent. And I do that because I pay for all the advertising, and I pay this and I pay this and I pay this."
Right.
And I explain it to them. And they
hmm
say, "Great, I don't care. Just get my house sold." I
Yeah.
will never offer the other agent less than 2.5% ever. If I'm so weak that I need to take a discount, I'm not going to discount the buyer's agent, because
Right.
when they're not going to, people aren't going to want to show your property, and you're going to be known as a discount broker. And that's not a good look for you.
Right.
If someone says to you in the middle of your listing appointment, "Well, what's your commission? Will you take less?" Say, "You know what, Mr. Sim, you've heard that, huh?" So say, so you want to smile? You want to smile and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, listen, let me build some value in what I do. If you're
Mhm.
asking me this question now, I obviously haven't built value in what I do. So we're going to get to that. I promise you, I've never lost a listing over commission, but I also am going to tell you that I am the best at what I do. I'm going to be looking out for you, and I truly want to represent you." So we will get to that in a minute, and then go back. You need to lead your presentation. You need to take control of your seller. You need to listen with your ears, not your mouth. If they're talking, listen to what they're saying. Let them speak and say, I understand what you're saying. Maybe do a summary probe. A summary probe is when they say how they feel, you can say, so, and I remember when you had said that you really wanted $890,000 for your house, because they said they wanted 890 earlier. That comes across as you're listening. You care about what they're saying. And when you look them in the eye and you smile, and if they say, well, Joe Schmo down the street said he'd do it for 4%, go, hey,
Yeah.
I don't know who Joe Schmo is. I don't know if he's a good agent or he's not. I know that I'm a great agent and I know I can get this done. Go down fighting. Say, look, if I can't negotiate my own commission, how am I going to negotiate the sale of your home? If I'm not motivated because you're not paying me what I'm worth. Good. You ever watch Shark Tank? You know how those sharks say,
Yeah,
say there's not enough in it
it's
for me.
terrible.
It's a
Yep.
terrible deal.
hmm
Look, I may be primed. You want to list it too high. You don't want to pay me what I'm worth. I may be primed to be your second agent. Tell you what, when you go hire Joe Schmo, and he's all about burn and turn. He's about like burn and turn is when you go to a restaurant, they want to burn you and turn you. They want to get you in,
Yep.
get the next one in. Well, that's how they run their business. They want to burn
Yeah.
and turn. I don't want that. I want to build a relationship with you.
You completely just answered all that. And plus, I was going to ask you about keeping your value as an agent and not undercutting yourself. And you just wrapped all that up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
build value always. And that's
yeah.
all of this, you guys, goes into practicing your craft.
hmm
Making sure that what you're doing, that you believe it yourself. If you don't believe it, your clients aren't going to believe it.
That's right. And another thing, so many people are like, they don't realize all the work that agents put into this. They just think they drive around in fancy cars and collect their commission check. And
They
they're
don't
like,
care.
here's a house. Let's go look at it.
They
And I'm
don't
like,
care. But the more you can,
XYZ that goes into it. And I wish that, we could take them behind the scenes and show them the life of a real estate agent. It'd be great.
and the more that they communicate with you during the transaction, the more that you tell them, in not in a way where you sound like you want more money, but in a way
Right.
where you say, hey, I met with these 5, I did this, I did that, I did this. They're going to appreciate it and see how hard you work. And they're going to ask you, don't you ever take a break? Say, no, I love what I do. This is in my heart. This is my passion.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a discount broker. That's why I work so hard. That's why I'm 99% referral, because my clients refer me. My family refers me. Your family refers me.
Yeah.
What I do. Smile.
And SOIs, like your sphere of influence, I've learned that is just the ultimate key. It really is.
You should always be working on your sphere. Your sphere should see this podcast. Every time this podcast or doing anything, you should be pounding it into people. Even a month later, put it back on again and say, hey, for those of you who didn't see it, I want you to see this. Go log on, subscribe. Put a like and a comment next to my
yeah.
Right.
And another thing, on that note, social media, we love to post all the new listings and photos and buyers and what we did. So I wanted to ask you a question on that. How many times, rough estimate, a week should we be posting videos and pictures where people aren't overwhelmed by looking at it, but they enjoy it?
I think you need to mix it up. So you should be putting a quote or something about the Nashville real estate market at least once a week. You could do a video that just jumps on for 10 seconds. Says, hey, I just wanted to say hello. I'm out showing property. Isn't this a beautiful pool? Isn't this a great home? Hey, I hope you guys are having a really wonderful day and a weekend. And I know it's been hard with COVID, and I'm here if there's anything you need. Sing a song.
Yeah.
Sing a song. Show your personality. Don't be afraid to mix the two.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's you have a beautiful talent, and there's nothing wrong. Hey, when you're interviewing with someone, show your talents. When they say Joe Schmo will do it for 4%, go, but with Joe Schmo sing. I can't sing it all. Sing. Sing out
That's
loud.
awesome.
Sing out strong. Show your personality. Smile.
Should I just show up with a microphone?
You don't even need a microphone. Just belt it out. And remember, Lizzie.
It's funny.
Remember to tell them, hey, you're going to be working with that person for the next month to 4 months. Don't you want to be with someone who makes you laugh, makes you smile, makes you happy, makes you sad, makes you cry? Just give them the gamut. Say,
it's like you're their temporary family member.
And you're going to say, I want to focus on you. I want you to be happy. This is how I run my business. It's all on referral. I just want you to be happy. That's it.
Yeah.
Be sincere, and
Right.
and you'll see it works out. What else? What else you got for me? This is fun.
My
I'm enjoying.
goodness, it is fun. Oh, let me see.
I told her to put a list of questions together. She's got it.
Yeah, I did. I'm looking and I'm just because there's so many.
Yeah, grab one out.
I mean, okay, so what are like 3 to 5 things a new agent should do in order to set their career for longevity?
Okay.
Or you don't have to list 3 to 5, maybe
let's talk about
1
it.
or 2.
Your career for longevity. First thing, we've been talking about it. Okay. Know your craft. Be good at, understand the market. Take all the classes you can. Do what you're doing with me. Get your coaching in and get your smiling in. Find someone who you can relate to that makes you want to work hard and makes you want to go out there and kick ass, right? Make yourself accountable. Okay. So your sphere of influence, if you want longevity in the business, go after your SOI, your sphere of influence, constantly. Do a couple postings a week. Don't do negative things. Do things that lift people up. At the end of every post, it should say, remember, if you want to sell or buy, call me. I'm available. No question is a dumb question. I'm always here for you to answer your questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll get you one.
I know.
Yeah.
You do. So what are your thoughts on the old school door knocking?
Love it. Love door knocking. So you have to decide what kind of agent you want to be. I don't door knock during COVID. I don't make people feel uncomfortable, but I'll drop stuff at their doorstep, a notepad, whatever. But you need to figure out, not everyone's a door knocking agent. Not everyone knows how to do a farm correctly. You can't just decide I'm going to door knock one day, door knock a couple days, and then not door knock for 6 months. You need to go through cycles. You need to figure out where you want to door knock. How many homes are in that area? Who's top in that area? Maybe there's someone who's number one. Do you really want to go after that farm area? No. Maybe you want to go after a farm area where there's been 22 sales in the last 6 months by 7 different brokers. No one's dominating. Here's Lizzie. Go in there. Dominate. Come up with a plan. Say there's 2,000 homes in that area. If I hit 100 homes a day, 4 days a week, that's going to take me 8 weeks in order to finish out the cycle. I know that I'm going to hit Citronia on Thursday. There's 28 homes in that area, and have your stuff ready every day, month on, month off, month on, month off. Make sure it's in your book. Treat it like an appointment and book around it. Someone calls and says, I want to list my house. And you say, when can I come over? And they say 1 o'clock on Tuesday. It says 1 o'clock on Tuesday. I'm door knocking. Go, you know what? I have an appointment at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. I have 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock. What's better for you? And if they say, absolutely not, I can't do it any other time but that, then I get it. Go ahead.
Okay.
But make sure that you're not saying, oh, well, it's just door knocking. You need to make everything a priority. And if you do it, you will succeed. I door knocked for a long time. I didn't get a listing for 2.5 years, and I was the number one guy in the area. Had 17 listings. So
wow,
just in that area in 1 year.
17 in 1 year?
Oh yeah, that's nothing. I mean, if you're farming correctly,
that's
if you're farming correctly, you're going to do it. Just
Yeah.
farm your sphere of influence. If you don't want to door knock, farm your sphere of influence. Farm open houses. Make that your farm. You have to figure out what you love and go after it. Start out as a buyer's agent, right? Start out just doing open houses or being on a team or getting leads from people, and then work on your sphere of influence. Show everyone houses, because everyone who buys from you 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later is going to want to sell.
Yep. Yeah, I remember we talked about that before. Buyers become sellers and sellers become buyers.
Oh, that's how I built.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, and just like, mailing out postcards if you want to like zone in on a certain area. I mean, is that...
Don't just do it once. You have to do it. If it's your
like once a month, do mail outs, or once a week, or
maybe do a mail once a month and a drop once a month.
Okay, mix it up a little bit.
You got to be in there. No, you got to be in there twice a month doing something. So, and you should door knock. I mean, you got to be in there. You need to come up with a slogan and read the reason why they call Lizzie, And it could be called Lizzie, your singing realtor. I'm sure there's a ton of that in Nashville.
I love that. But yeah.
But, hey, we'll sing a song for you. Um,
Yeah.
let me sing for you, you know,
Yeah, I've been thinking of
let me
marketing
sing
strategies
you.
on that too.
Hey,
Yeah.
call Lizzie. Let me sing you dollar signs. I sing dollars. I make money for my clients. Just whatever you want, but you need to believe it. You need to feel it. You need to have passion, right? I mean, that's
Right.
exciting. You're a
It
new
is.
agent. Show everyone how great you're going to be, how much you want to succeed.
Absolutely.
What else? Talk to me.
But yeah, I'm thinking about like on every deal that I get, whether it's buyer or seller, like at the end of that deal, maybe put on a little acoustic show concert at their house.
Whatever. Some people
I
will,
mean,
some people won't. So yeah, but do what,
totally up to them, of course, but I offer it,
what
I mean,
well, what you could do though is at your open houses have music. So you have an
that's
open
even
house.
better.
Yeah, rather than that, do it when
Yeah.
you have an open house. But I wouldn't have a crazy rock out, but a
Right.
nice soft song. Nice
Right.
soft songs where someone's walked when by the time they get to the backyard, there's someone singing back there. I mean, listen, there's a lot of agents that might say, hey, I want to do an open house. And you can say, well, can I do it with you? I'd love to be the music and just watch what you're
Yeah,
doing.
we've got a musician in every room, people.
Whatever.
Fuck
But
around.
you don't want that. That's too much. But
That is.
figure out what works for you. I'm telling you, I've met with you a few times. I know you're going to be a success. You want it. I know
I
you.
do. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're awesome. And I do. I feel the energy. I got the positivity. I've
Yeah.
got the people skills. It's just getting all that equipped and keeping it
Yeah.
intact. And like you said, be consistent with everything that I do and
And
just
truthfully,
stay
that's
at
why
it.
I got into the coaching, because for me, so many agents like you don't know what to do and they need to be reminded of it constantly, which is good. You want to be
Yeah.
constantly reminded that we've all been where you're at. We've all
And I'm such an
been there.
overthinker,
Yeah,
and you
you
break
don't want to
things
do that.
down into simplicity,
And yeah, and you just really want to just believe in yourself. We've all been there. We've all had those insecurities. We all have been through the fight. We're all still going through the fight. Just when I've been doing it for 23 years, I understand the fight a little bit more than you, right? So for you, I look at you and I say, okay, keep doing what you're doing, but it's not a one and done thing. It's not something that you can just do and then stop. You need to be great at everything. You need to be go to zip forms and make out contracts and ask someone, hey, can you look at this for me? What would you recommend? Did I do this right? When I wrote the offer, because you want to be prepared. What else should I send with the offer? Train yourself every day. Train yourself.
and getting reviews from those clients.
Yeah, so that's a great thing. Get the reviews after every time you deal with a client. It's really important as well. But in order to get the clients, you need to be prepared, Lizzie. You need to really, really be prepared. And I don't mean just a little. You wouldn't go out on stage if you weren't prepared. Be prepared every time you go out to a listing appointment or a buyer. You're going to meet a buyer. If they're going to drive in your car with you, have water waiting for them. Have a clipboard with the homes that they're going to see and say, you're my navigator, okay? And here's a pen with a clipboard and every listing you're going to see. And every time we see a listing, right when we get in the car, I want you to take notes so you remember, because I know that you feel like you'll remember every house, but you won't. So I want you to take notes. Liked this house because of this. Didn't like it because of this. Put a star next to the ones that you really love. And then afterwards, recap it with them.
Right.
Right.
What's funny is the whole notebook thing. Like I've been doing that with a good friend of mine who's looking for a home, and we've been driving around the same area, and he's been marking which ones he likes the most and all that.
And
but yeah, I've got to get better than that even, like I just have to
you know what else, Lizzie? Most of your clients, when you first start, are going to be friends or family. Treat them like you would a normal client. I mean, my family and my friends, the reason why they continue to use me all these years, not only because I was like you and really worked hard, but I treated it like they were people I had never met before. I worked my butt off. And if they did this, I'd say, this is business though. Let's stick to this. And pretty soon they just knew that when I was showing them property or selling their house, they were getting Brad, who's not going to have a drink right now. I'll have a drink after we get this accepted. I'm not going to, crack all the jokes and be silly Brad. I changed the tone of my voice and I become Broker Brad. How you doing? What's going
Broker
on?
Brad. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask you that too. I mean, is there such thing as being overly nice and when to put on that hard hat and be more
Well,
direct?
so you should always be nice, always be yourself, but throw a little bit of sternness in there when you need it to be. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong. Don't be mean and don't be hostile, but there's nothing wrong with if you're trying to get your point across, you change your voice. And don't be afraid to say, see there, see how I changed my voice? I really
Yeah.
want you to understand what I'm saying here. So I really want you to understand that the seller is going to, and then they're going to, you changed your voice again. And I go, yes, I did. And they'll learn how to read you. They'll learn
Mhm.
what you're trying to say, and they're going to understand, and they're going to look for that. But it's really important that you take your job so seriously that they say, wow, I feel protected. I'm so glad that Lizzie's representing me.
Right.
That's important.
That is the ultimate goal.
All right.
Absolutely.
We good?
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. I mean, that's just a whirlwind of more information. It's great. You're always awesome. You're very thorough and helpful. And, like I said, I work with a team of experts. They're wonderful, but I mean, getting, someone like you that's coach and your opinion and what you've been at it for so long and you're so successful and, I highly respect you. And
I respect you as well, and I look at you as a colleague, and
thank you.
you're welcome. And I look at you. I'm excited to send clients your way out in Nashville and work with your clients here. And I really, really am happy that you're in real estate, and I know you're going to kill it. And I'm available all the time whenever you need me.
Sounds good.
All right,
But yeah, we got a lot of California people moving to Nashville.
that's it. We do. Nashville's a great place. All right. Say goodbye to everyone. And remember, everyone, if you need my coaching, go to ATREpodcast.com, sign up for my 5 free videos. I will give you a free 30-minute coaching class and introductory offer and see if we're a good match for one another. And I highly encourage it and would love to work with you. And that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Many of my podcast listeners have become my coaching clients. If you'd like to be a coaching client, go to my website at www.atrepodcast.com and sign up for your free 30-minute coaching evaluation at www.atrepodcast.com. And as my dad would always say, have an attitude of gratitude.